the moment. Some lines are runners with one train a week or whatever because there isn't simply the money to develop them in the way that everybody, British Rail, local councils, know would be sensible. In other cases, there simply isn't the will or the money to actually market services and develop them in the way that they should be. And in some cases, there's strong suspicion by locals that that British Rail would really like to shut these lines down but can't be bothered to go through the closure procedure.
The Esk Valley line from Middlesbrough to Whitby isn't down to ghost trains yet, but its future is far from secure. Here, the train operator, Regional Railways North East, is trying to improve usage on the line rather than run it down any further. It currently has just 4 trains a day each way. But trying to increase usage of this service that somehow escaped the beaching axe is a complicated business.
We're actually joining together with a lot of interested parties along the line, the local authorities, some voluntary groups, to try and build up local community involvement in the line. And we've also got a project together, a rail partnership, to try and get some European funding.
At present, the only thing between this route and closure is the service it provides shipping school children to and from Whitby. But what may increase its use is something more commonly associated with towns and cities, air pollution, and the increasing toll the car is taking on the environment.
All of a sudden, hey presto, we've got the problems of increased ozone levels, particularly in places like this, where you'd think it's the last place in the world where you have levels higher than the World Health Organisation's levels, but no, it happens here. And we have, well, last year it was about 167 million miles were driven by visitors to this national park within the area, so that's obviously causing additional pollution, congestion, and it's in fact destroying what people are coming to see, which is peace and tranquility.
But while the Esk Valley line struggles to improve its services, it's linked to a line closed by beaching and now thriving. The North Yorkshire Moors Railway runs the 18 miles between Pickering and Gromont. It's a steam train line, working to fixed timetables, and as tourist revenue overall around it has decreased, it has managed to increase the number of passengers using the line for pleasure and for travelling through the surrounding national park. Over 200,000 people travel on this line every year now. And there may be a message for less nostalgic train operators.
We ran more trains and extended our service period, so that over a period of 2 years we've increased our passenger numbers by nearly 20%.
Do you think that's the answer? Run more trains, get more passengers?
If you don't run trains, you won't have passengers. And I think this is the one thing which British Rail don't do. They attack lack of profitability by cutting back. British Rail have a lot to learn.
But faced with train leasing charges as part of the run-up to privatisation, train operators have to find substantial amounts of money, which have to be backed by guaranteed returns. It's a vicious circle. This is the Croxley Green to Watford Junction ghost train, which is being run to keep the line open for strategic reasons. There are plans to link this line to the London tube system. It's arguable whether private operators could be bothered to do this, especially if the franchise director doesn't specify services like this in the minimum requirements of the sort published today. If a ghost train isn't specified, it's effectively suggesting the line should close. However, some believe private operators might run more ghost trains, not less.
We believe that with fares capped, with uncertainties over subsidy, what's very likely to happen is that the minimum services specified by the franchise director will actually become the services operated, with some exceptions. And we think that therefore there's a danger that privatisation can see cuts in services rather than the expansion that Dr Mimwini claims to want.
The legal victory over ScotRail's attempts to run ghost services, allowing them to cut the Fort William sleeper, may well have set a precedent for further legal challenges over service and line closures. But meanwhile, privatisation's not yet running to schedule.
The franchising process is dragging, and the reason is that investors are very uncertain of what they're buying. The railway has been fragmented into a form which is quite unprecedented worldwide. Nobody knows how it's going to work. We can see performance deteriorating on most lines. There's no doubt about that at all. It is because of the a management structure which is less efficient and less effective, and this naturally has the investors worried.
Some claim that privatisation is now a runaway train, with the government capping fares to make the passengers feel more secure, and with continuing worries about lines and services. It allows the government's critics to claim that privatisation will hit the buffers at the end of the line. Rory McLean, Channel 4 News, on the ghost train to Watford Junction.